Welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of AEHL Rinkside. Troy Gillard, very pleased to be back with you for season 2 as we meet some of the players and coaches from across the Alberta Elite Hockey League. Very pleased to be joined today by Ryan Allen. He's the head coach for Grande Prairie's U15 AAA team in the AEHL. Ryan, thanks very much for doing this. Appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me. Excited.
Yeah, and one thing I'm sure you're excited for is sort of a return to normalcy, for lack of better term, now that we're back on the ice for play here to start the 2021-22 season. How does it feel being back in the rink these days?
Yeah, no, like I said, certainly back to normal, so to speak. But the biggest thing I keep telling people this is just good to see the kids smiling, having fun, enjoying the game they love. So obviously, fingers crossed we keep going this way. But no, it's been great to get back to normal for sure.
Yeah. Do you find the smiles are perhaps a little bit bigger than they normally would be, even through like the grinds of a training camp, which isn't always the most fun?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, again, yeah, it's just again, to be back on the ice and again, doing the things they love. Playing hockey has certainly been really, really good for them. So.
Pretty neat story for yourself, because your time in the AEHL dates all the way back to 2001, 2002, when you were a player in the league, and now you're back. How cool is that all this time later to be back involved with the AAA league?
Yeah, no, for sure. Actually, it's funny. That was the year in Fort Saskatchewan, and that was my first year kind of being away from home, and actually lived in Smoky Lake with a guy by the name of Chad Scarf, who coaches actually the Calgary North Stars U18 and AAA. But yeah, full circle. It's awesome. It's always been a great league. Obviously, back then it was the A and BHL, but yeah, like I said, pretty cool to be back now and coaching and giving back as best as I can. So.
For sure. Obviously, a few things have evolved since then. Is it crazy to think just how far this AAA league in Alberta has come since your time as a player?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously, you look at the advancements of the game itself, but also technologies with video and those kinds of things. I mean, obviously, with through our league, Instats obviously big as well nowadays. But yeah, it's all evolving. Like I said, the players and the game and technology. It's pretty cool to see how representative it is and how good it is nowadays. So.
What was the biggest thing that drew you back to coaching in the AEHL? What made it attractive for you?
Honestly, just I've always loved, had a passion for coaching for sure. And with my role here in Grande Prairie with GPAC as the director, wanting those the first year players or second year players through our program to get a good experience and understand what we're trying to do culture wise of the program and those kinds of things. And like I said, I like coaching and the 13 and 14-year-olds are pretty fun to coach. I've coached 5-year-olds all the way to 20-year-olds, and they're a pretty fun group to coach and be around and all those good things. So yeah, it's fun.
You've played hockey at a number of levels, including in U Sport with Brock University. Over your hockey career, Ryan, who are some of the perhaps biggest influences on your coaching style?
Yeah, no, a long list there. Speaking of Brock, actually, it's funny. I talked to Murray Nystrom. He was my head coach at Brock for 5 years there. Still talk to him, as I said, monthly. Murray is a big influence. Gord Thibodeau, who's in the AHL, obviously back in Fort Mac for a second tour of duty there. He coached me as a player, and we coached together for a few years in Fort Mac. Fran Gell, I'm sure you know Fran, Troy, and Sean Bissell. My dad, of course, and the list goes on. There's so many people who've been a part of my journey, and I can't thank those people enough for helping me out along the way.
You've been fortunate enough along the way also to be part of some pretty cool events under the Hockey Alberta umbrella, including the Alberta Cup for a couple of seasons a few years ago. And that event continues to evolve as well. How cool has it been to not only be involved as a coach over the years, but also involved with some of these big events?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Been good. Been part of all three with the three prospects. Excuse me. Obviously, Alberta Cup and the U16, whether it's a coaching capacity or a mentorship capacity. But obviously, Hockey Alberta runs a great program when it comes to those those things. And no, it's always fun to volunteer and give back, and you're always learning and meeting new people, and that's why I do those events. So it's fun doing those things for sure.
It's been a couple of years now since Hockey Alberta took over the AAA leagues in the province and now run it as the Alberta Elite Hockey League. What are some of the big differences that you've seen now that you're back involved in the AEHL and the way it's run these days?
I think one of the biggest things is the coaching. You look across for all three divisions, 15, 16, 18, like there's a lot of good coaches in all three leagues. So and with that becomes, organization, preparedness, like I said earlier, building that culture. There's good parity when not just, teams, but when it comes to coaching. Everybody's, there for the right reasons, and everyone wants to win, but it's also about, player development. And I think that's the biggest thing is just, coaching, as I said, just the involvement of the game, and how well in shape and prepared the players are across, again, all three divisions. It's pretty cool to see, and obviously you're seeing it now as kids graduate from these leagues and they go on to play junior, college, pro. It's just a testament to what these guys are doing in the league, whether it's being a coach or player. So it's pretty cool to see that way.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of competition out there for players these days, but it seems like the AEHL has done a good job of recruiting a lot of strong players still. And like you just mentioned, pretty impressive caliber of play in the league these days still.
No, it is. It certainly is. And you look, everybody is always trying to get better as a, program or organization, and we want them to graduate and go to the next level. So we're just happy that our league's doing our part, and, the players we have just making the best of the opportunities. So.
How's your team shaping up this year? How's things on the ice?
It was good. I spoke to you earlier. Like I said, we had morning practice this morning, and it was okay. A little slow starting. Maybe that's because it's so early in the morning at 6:30, and we practiced last night as well, and that was better. But we're good. We're having fun. We're learning. We're trying to get better every day. Only played four games so far, so. But it seems like across the league, there's some good teams, some good parity, as I said, some good depth across the board. But we're good. But at the end of the day, they're kids, and they just, like I said earlier to start, they just want to play the game, and good to see them smiling. So. Yeah,
I can understand the slow start. We're sitting here talking at 10 o'clock and I still feel sluggish. So give them the pass on the early morning practice there. But either way, Ryan, sounds like you're having a lot of fun out there, and that's the most important thing.
No, absolutely. It's good. Like I said, it's good to give back, and fortunate to be in this position I'm in. Thankful, obviously, but like I said, it's definitely a lot of fun for sure.
Awesome. Ryan, sounds good. Hey, thanks very much for taking the time this morning to chat, and all the best as you guys work your way through the season.
No, anytime. Appreciate it, Troy. And again, thanks for having me.